Camera number 432 is this Cosina C1s. Saw this at my nearby car boot. I almost walked past it because I've seen a number of these cameras before, the C1s, and they typically suffer from a very sticky coating. This rubbery material perishes and they all go very horrible and sticky. And so when I saw this, I thought, oh, that's another sticky mess. But actually, when I picked it up, I found it to be in really good condition, actually. And on the base of the camera is a number, scratched number 6 or 9, which kind of points in the direction of maybe a college or university used this camera. And there's a very good reason why they use these kinds of cameras. One, obviously the cost, and they are very plastic, so they are very easy to replace, inexpensive. But there's another very good reason for considering this camera as perhaps a beginning or starting camera, or maybe even intermediate, because it's a manual camera. It doesn't require batteries. In fact, the only 2 LR44 batteries that are housed in the battery compartment here that unscrews just powers the light meter. Otherwise, it's not a metal mechanical, but it's a plastic mechanical camera. All the shutter speeds don't require a battery to operate. So there's a very good reason for maybe a college or university who have a photography course to consider these kinds of cameras. But let's go into the nitty-gritty. It was a camera released around about the 1990s. And as I say, Cosina have perhaps upped their game. Typically, the cameras that I have done in the past, which are Cosina, are very boxy. But this one seems to have acquired 1990s styling. And it's quite comfortable. The plastic is a bit creaky, particularly this door of the film chamber. When you have it in your hand, it's quite comfortable, and all the controls are very well placed, so that's good. The camera features the PK or Pentax mount, so it plugs into that rich resource of lenses, but this one came with a Cosina's own 35-70, a kit lens effectively, which again is very plastic, and didn't inspire me when the nameplate fell off. So obviously it had been used quite well, the camera, so I was a bit hesitant, or not quite sure how this camera would function, but function it did. And so to take the lens off, we have the lens release lever, and we twist that, and then we can put any PK lens on. Of course not autofocus because it's all manual focus, but this Cosina lens, I have to say, is a gem in the rough, as the images at the end of the video will show. As I say, it's very plasticky and sounds quite almost hollow, and didn't inspire me with a great deal of confidence. But as I say, we'll maybe come back to the images at the end. So on the front we have the lens release. We have the self-timer, which evidently is the reason why it's called a C1s. There was a C1, but it lacked this self-timer. And you just turn it and it releases itself, or this one does. I don't think I've wound the camera on. No, obviously didn't. Let's do that again. Right, so no, it doesn't wind on. That's obviously, to release the lever, we have to press the shutter button. That lifts the mirror up, as you can see. And then we take our image. It says made in Japan. Apart from that, we have just the 2 camera lugs on the front, so let's just put the lens back on. I'll take that nameplate off because that's going to fall off. Okay, let's just line up the 2 red dots. There we go. And then on the top, again, it follows pretty much all the Cosina cameras that I've tried, except this one has 1/2000th of a second, all the way down to 1 second and bulb. And as I say, doesn't require a battery, although batteries are in here. And to put the batteries on, let's just do that around that way. Just undo the battery door. Put it off. There we go. And then, as I say, two LR44 batteries, and the positive is uppermost, and then that goes into the camera. In fact, it does show you the little plus sign. And then we can just turn that on, turn that back in. There we go. So coming back to the top here, so there's the shutter speeds. Our film speeds are selected by lifting the collar and then rotating. Shutter button has a thread there for a cable release. Our film counter, our film wind on, which does include, I don't know whether I can show you there, whether you can see that, a little notch that sits under the shutter button. So when the film advance is closed, that actually causes the shutter button to be locked. It's not until you give it that 45-degree that it is then allows you to use the camera. So that's a nice little feature built into the film advance. Hot shoe. I believe the flash synchronization is 1/125th, as indicated by the red 1/125th of a second. Our film rewind, which we have to lift, which then allows us to open our film chamber, which again is very evident plastic, sort of, and then we put our film in a normal way over, and then just make sure it's in the take-up spool. Nice to see the window for our film, so that we can check what film speed if we forget, as I frequently do. And then we just advance the film and then take our images. There we go. Looking through the viewfinder, on the left-hand side we have three LEDs, a plus, a minus, and a red or a green light in the middle. And so the object is really to get a green central LED lit, otherwise we can overexpose or underexpose if we so desire. So it's just it would be nice from my perspective to have had the shutter speeds, but hey, I'm not going to complain. And the reason I'm not going to complain is because of the images that I got from this camera. I have to say I didn't have great hopes. The lens, particularly when the front cover here fell off, didn't inspire me with a great deal of confidence. So I decided to use some bellows that I have for Pentax mount cameras. And so let's just put that on, shall we? We have to just line the two red dots up. There we go. And so using the bellows here, I was looking to do some macro photography, and well, the images really speak for themselves. It shouldn't surprise me. Time and time again, when I've used some cameras and lenses, I haven't been particularly confident about them, and they've always surprised me. So I should really learn my lesson, shouldn't I? But the images really, I really am quite impressed with this. So for a camera that I picked up at a car boot that I almost didn't buy, I'm so pleased I did. And well, here are the images. And in the meantime, this is the Cosina C1s, camera number 432.